Hey guys, Michelle Kinney here. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for checking out my video. Just wanted to make a quick video today and talk a little bit about overtrading and how you should take steps not to become a victim of overtrading. What is overtrading? Overtrading is trading too many things. So sometimes people think, oh my gosh, I have to be diversified. And what does diversification mean? I need to have a ton of stuff. Well, guess what? That's not really what diversification means. And that's not what smart diversification means. Smart diversification is having things that are non-correlated or perhaps negatively correlated in your investment account. Now that might sound confusing, but let me break it down and make it pretty simple for you. Correlation is kind of like, having one thing or two things, and if one goes up, the other one kind of goes up also. Now they're obviously not going to go up exactly correct, but let me give you an example and I'll help you understand. Let's say technology stocks, Apple, Google, Microsoft. If one goes up, they kind of all go up. Now they might go up in different proportions sometimes, and there might be some different sort of news event that spurs one more than another or less than another or something like that. But by and large, the tide rises, all boats rise to the top. That's kind of like the good way to think about it. So really, you don't need a whole bunch of different things in your account. And the reason why you shouldn't have a whole bunch of things in your account is because it creates too much noise in your brain. Now, I talk a lot about sometimes noise in your brain because oftentimes in my past, especially, people would say, hey, Michelle, what do you think of this? Hey, Michelle, what do you think of that? Hey, I got this great idea about this. And sometimes it can be easy to become like that victim of the shiny penny, right? Like a squirrel or something like that. Have you heard of that expression before? Like you want to go here and then go there and then go there. And the reason why sometimes we're attracted to things like that is because we are often attracted to uncertainty. I think that's really what drives our attraction of this like shiny penny theory. When we are looking at one thing and then we see something else, then we see something else. And we want to really try to avoid that as much as possible, right? So we want to understand that diversification is not necessarily like having a million different things in our account. No, it's having things that are non-correlated. Now let me give you an example of non-correlated things. So generally speaking, when stocks go up, they kind of all go up, right? But really, you want to have more than one stock in your portfolio. You want to have kind of different sectors maybe, because sometimes like a bank stock might be kind of like slow and secure, and maybe that's kind of like your hedge in your portfolio. Technology is often associated with or characterized by a little bit more volatility. And things like that. So you want to have maybe definitely technology. You want to see what sectors are hot, right? And that's not to say like, hey, get some hot stock tip at a cocktail party and go trade that stock tomorrow. No, but you want to find out like what are hot stocks, what are moving. So right now, like EV stocks, electric vehicle stocks, those are my favorite actually, honestly. I love Tesla, I love NIO. And I trade them both, but really, you know what? You're really only, and this is an example of over diversification. And me also, I'm always learning as I go and refining my strategies. Like none of us are perfect, right? There's no such thing as perfection, but growth is what's important. Like you want to do things and embrace things that help you grow and become better and better day by day. I'm better today than I was yesterday. I'm going to be better tomorrow than I was today. So really, that's what drives me, right? So let's go back to diversification. You don't want to have a whole bunch of things. You want to have some things that are non-correlated. So I always like to have a little bit of commodities in a portfolio. I just think it's kind of a good thing. Gold or silver or something like that. Typically, like, if stocks go down, gold might go up because, logically, sometimes investors will kind of flee more toward, hard assets like that, like gold or silver or something like that. So it's always kind of a good thing to have in your portfolio. And there are ways that you can structure your portfolio. Let's say buy a little bit of gold exchange traded fund, not physical gold or anything like that perhaps, but like a gold exchange traded fund. I have other videos that talk about that for more details. I'm not going to go into the weeds in this video because I just want to talk about diversification and overtrading. But basically, you can buy, let's say, 100 or 500 shares of gold or something, and you could sell some longer term like call options, bring in some premium. Everybody should always be selling call options, right? So I know this video is about diversification and overtrading, but I want to throw in a little bit of tip that I talked about with somebody yesterday. The reason why everybody should, in my view, be selling call options is because it gives you more boost to your return, right? Number one, nobody will ever, it's a physical impossibility to lose money when you sell a call option. I'm going to make another video about that, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a snippet here. The reason for that is if you're already long the stock, you already have the risk of perhaps that stock going up and down. So you already have that risk of volatility. So when you sell a call option, it's not like an added risk. What you're doing is you're committing to sell, that investment if it goes to a certain price or higher. The only risk that you have when you sell a call option is that you might miss some extra upswing, right? So like, let's say you sell a call option here and then that stock zooms to up here, right? So you might miss a little bit of that appreciation, but you're never going to lose money. I started trading in 1997. I was 12. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to disclose my age here. But anyway, 1997. And I remember at that time, I was trading commodity futures and options. I was like, fuck, where did this world come from? I never came from that world. My parents didn't tell me, and I didn't even know there was a stock market. It was crazy. I didn't grow up like that. Very, very, I don't know, maybe blue collar is the right word. I don't even know what the word is. But anyway, they were definitely not stock traders at all, right? And a friend of mine introduced me to commodity futures and options, and I was mesmerized by the fact that, fuck, I can make money and not actually have to physically work and like drive somewhere and work for somebody, kiss somebody's ass and get paid, and I make more money if I work more hours. Like the whole concept was like new to me, right? So that's what really like drove my passion about trading. So, and I've been trading ever since 1997. Off and on, here and there, for myself, for other people. Now I'm kind of educating more people. So I've shifted in a lot of, a few different things. But anyway, sometimes I go off on a tangent here because I have so much information to share with you people. So anyway, what was my point? The broker at the time told me, do not get greedy in the market. Pigs get slaughtered. You need to embrace that. If you don't learn anything from me, you learn this, right? Write this down because it's super important. Do not get greedy in the stock market. Pigs get slaughtered. You have to be okay with making, X percent. Like you have to say, okay, well, I want to make X percent on this trade. And if I make X percent, even if the stock goes to the moon and I sold it like maybe prematurely and I missed some of that upside, you have to be okay with that. And you can't be like, oh my gosh, I should have done this. Don't live in the fucking past, people. You can't even change the past. That is like the biggest misuse of energy that ever, right? So anyway, I just ate, so I have a little bit of food in my teeth. Sorry about that. I like to bring some humor. Tell me if you guys like some of the humor that I bring into my videos. And you know what I like about these videos too is like, this is like the real authentic me, right? So I was watching a video yesterday of this guy that had like 7 million views of this video on YouTube on how to trade options. And you know what? I started watching it and I was like, oh my gosh, he looks super professional. So he's like, he's dressed up and the video and the audio is great. And he's like GQ kind of, but his content sucked. And you know how I know his content sucked? Because I come from this industry and I know what's right and what's not right. And I know what's confusing, what's not confusing, what works, sometimes what doesn't work. And it's kind of like marketing sells sometimes, right? Like McDonald's is like the fucking worst hamburger ever that don't ever eat a McDonald's hamburger. It's disgusting. But they make billions of dollars per year. Why? Because they know how to market properly. Anyway, when you see my videos, what you say is what you get. I'm going to work more on some maybe social media and appearance and hiring some professional people. But in the meantime, I just want to get this content out of my head and I want to just drop it to you because I know how invaluable it is and I know you're going to love it, right? So let me go back to pigs get slaughtered. So remember that, right? Number 2, everybody should be selling call options. Do you know why? It's kind of like, let me give you an analogy. It's kind of a crude analogy, but it's appropriate. Let's say I own a farm, right? I own this farm on this big plot of land and I have these cows. And I have these cows because I want to have them slaughtered and sell the beef for income, right? Now, that's great, but what's better than that is if you milk the cows, sell the milk, and then slaughter the cows and sell the beef for income. And why is that? Because you're milking them and you're getting free money on something that you already have. That is how covered calls work, people. Everybody, you are doing yourself a disservice if you own stock and you are not selling a covered call against that stock. Why? Because you can make free money as you go. Now the risk is, now pay attention to this, the risk when you sell a covered call is you may forego some upside. So you might sell a covered call on some hot ass stock like Amazon, Tesla, like these stocks that zoom to the moon, and maybe you chose a price that's lower than the price that it ultimately went up to. So you might miss some of the upside appreciation. But remember what I told you a moment ago: do not be greedy. Pigs get slaughtered in the market. So keep that in mind. I just personally believe, and there's always a million ways to skin a cat, right? So my way is not necessarily the only way. But I can tell you without question that this way works, period. If you follow my direction, it will work for you. If you own stock and you're not selling a covered call against it, you are missing free money because you can't lose when you sell a covered call. The only thing that you could lose is maybe some price appreciation if that stock zooms to the moon, right? So again, I have other videos that share things. This video here is about diversification and don't overtrade. So let me get back to that, okay? Diversification. So we talked a little bit about having some stock, having some commodities. It used to be like, hey, have some stock, have some bonds. That's like old school financial advisor like speak, right? Stock goes up, bonds go down. Bonds don't pay shit right now. So everybody knows interest rates are super, super, super low. You don't want to buy a bond. Fuck. Lock up your money and make like 1% interest. I mean, inflation is higher than 1%. What is inflation? Inflation is like, the way money gets eroded over time because goods and services cost more today than they cost a year ago or 5 years prior or 10 years prior, right? So inflation on average is about 3%. Like things get more expensive on average about 3% per year, right? So if you're making 1%, you are going backward. So don't go backward, people. Go forward, forward, forward. So let's go back to diversification. So I'm not a big believer in bonds nowadays. I think sometimes there's time for different asset classes, and just now is not one of them. Again, there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? Don't take my information. Full disclosure, always like you trade with your own money. You are responsible for yourself. Don't blame other people. Don't go not buy a bond and hey, Michelle said not to buy a bond and you lose like, I don't know, all your money in the stock market. Those are your decisions. My job here is to just share my information and give you as much stuff that I've learned, some good experiences and some hard experiences. But I want to share all the things that I've learned over my time trading because it's been a long, long, long time. And I know that a lot of this stuff is like, all of it actually is super, super valuable. So let's go back to don't overtrade. And I become a victim of this myself sometimes. And yesterday I was talking to a friend of mine. Hey, Bobby, what's up, if you're listening? So he is a trader too, not professionally, but he's been trading a long time for himself. And we talk all this like geek kind of stuff. And it's kind of fun, because I find that stuff, super interesting. And I'm super passionate about it. He is too. And today I had this like moment, epiphany, moment in time, right? And because we talked about it yesterday, and I said, you know what? I overtrade myself. Like, for example, I have Tesla and I have NIO. I trade both those stocks a lot. The reason why I trade them both is Tesla is super expensive. NIO is like baby Tesla. I call it NIO baby Tesla. Is Chinese Tesla. It's like a fraction of what Tesla trades. Tesla trades for like 700. NIO trades for like 50. I remember trading NIO when it was like $2 a share. No joke. Not very long ago. Anyway, going back to my point about diversification, really, you don't need Tesla and NIO, right? Like, if I can afford to trade Tesla in my account, I should just trade Tesla. Or if I, have some preference over NIO for whatever reason, just trade NIO. Because really, the fact of it is, if Tesla goes up, NIO is also going to go up, right? You like my nail polish? I just did this yesterday. Tesla goes up, NIO is probably going to go up as well. Now, again, not the same exact percent. I think today they're both down. So if one goes down, the other one kind of goes down too. Just trade one. Why do you want to just trade one and not two? There's too much shit to keep track of. When you're trading, you want to make things as easy as possible. One of the reasons, there's many reasons why people don't make money or lose a lot of money in the stock market, but one of them is that they overtrade. And number two is that they don't pay attention to the easy to pay attention kind of stuff. Let me give you an example on what I'm talking about. Everyone, if you trade stocks, you should be paying attention to the people, the big players in the market, what they're buying and what they're selling. So for example, let's say you trade Tesla. I'm just saying as an example. If you trade Tesla, you should know if someone that has a lot of money, like a Warren Buffett kind of person or even Elon Musk, if they're buying, let's say, $1 million worth of Tesla, or if they're selling $1 million worth of Tesla, Why? Because that is going to move the market. I guarantee you, when big players come in and buy or sell a lot of stock, that moves the market. Why should you know that? Fuck, you should know that. I mean, you're putting your hard-earned money. So the stock market is kind of like rigged against the regular people like you watching this video right now. And what you want to do to overcome those challenges is you want to arm yourself with as much information possible. Now you can find out exactly for free through the SEC website. I don't know, Warren Buffett just sold like $8 million worth of Delta Airlines or something like that. You can check that on the SEC Edgar website. I could put some links in this video, but it's kind of manual, like you check it every so often, and you have to kind of understand what you're looking at, the different form filings. And the reason why that's available to everybody, a lot of investors don't even fucking know this. The reason why is because the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, they pretend like they care about the little people. Maybe some of them do. Maybe they start off pretending that they care about the little people. I don't know. That's a matter of opinion, right? But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that they say that we should have a fair and balanced market system, right? So when big players come in and they buy or sell and they're like controlling shareholders of any publicly traded company at all, if they're a controlling shareholder, officer, director, something like that, they have to disclose it. When do they have to disclose it? They have to disclose it within 48 hours of making that trade. Whether it be buying one share, buying 1,000 shares, selling one share, they have to disclose it. They also have to disclose it if their spouse buys something, if they buy something in their trust for their kids or something like that. So that's in order to create this fair and balanced system. Now, a lot of people don't even realize that. Go to the SEC Edgar website and you could see all that information for free. This is actually the highlight of my fucking career. Not long ago, I developed a mobile application, right? And I don't want to make this video about selling, but I do want to tell you because it's so valuable. I developed a mobile application that will send you push notifications every time someone subsequently buys or sells any of that stock. A legal insider. It's like legal insider trading. I mean, you could just hop on the coattails of those people. Why reinvent the wheel? Model after successful people, right? Success leaves clues, all these things that people talk about. It's totally legitimate. Everybody should be doing that. My mobile app I have a free version where it gives you, and I have a direct download from the SEC. So these people have to disclose it to the SEC within 48 hours. My app grabs that data electronically within minutes. I think not even 60 seconds, actually. And it's so quick. So I have a free platform, a free mobile app, right? It's called Follow the Whales. And then I have a paid version for $9.99. I think it's $9.99 per month. It's so cheap. It's fucking less than what you probably pay for Netflix. How much is Netflix nowadays? I have Netflix, and then they kind of like get you because there's like Netflix, and then you have to have like an upgraded version of Netflix to get like different videos and stuff. I think it's like, I think it started off at like $8. Now it's like, I know it's more than $10. It might be $20, $24 or something like that. If you pay more money for watching television than what you pay for like making smart financial decisions that can help you make money every year, year over year over year, you got a couple like missteps there. You have to check yourself, right? Anyway, it's $10 a month. Again, I'm not going to make this about selling, but it's a fucking rocket deal. $10 a month, sends you push notifications. There's no maximum to how many stocks you can put on your list. Like if you trade 20 stocks, put all 20 on there. And every time a controlling shareholder buys or sells that stock, you are going to be made aware of it. So you can make smarter decisions. Anyway, let me go back to my point. Diversification. I'm gonna put the link to that in the thing here. I have a Apple version and I also have Google Play. I'm not big on Google Play, so I focus a lot. I'm more of a Mac person myself, Apple, so I focus more there, but it is available on both. Let me go back to diversification. Tesla and NIO. You don't want to trade two because if I'm trading Tesla and NIO, now I have to pay attention to, oh my gosh, who's buying Tesla? Oh my gosh, who's buying NIO? What kind of news events are for both of them? Why create the extra noise in my brain? If I can capture most of the upside, from trading one, why trade two? Why make it more difficult? I think I do a lot of inner, I do a lot of stuff, but one of them is like inner self-reflection. Why do we do the things we do? And really, we want to understand why we do what we do because we want to sometimes break those patterns and change that up. And I truly believe that sometimes, I'll speak for myself. I won't speak for you, but I'm going to speak for me. I think I make way more than what it needs to be because I just have this need to make things challenging sometimes, right? Because if I make something challenging and I overcome it, I feel so good about myself and I'm so fucking, oh my gosh, I'm amazing. But really, you don't have to do that. You can just do one. Don't make it more confusing. You can make stock trading as hard as you want it to. You can, oh my gosh, what's the earnings per share? What's this? What's that? What's the, all these different, ABC, XYZ, and all these different like terms that you have to understand. No, you don't have to do that. Really, you shouldn't do that. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. That's what I always say. And you can keep it simple and you can keep it simple and be super successful at the same time. So don't trade Tesla and pick one. Pick one that works for you. Also, the same thing is like for blockchain. Going back to diversification, kind of tying this a lot of it together. You want to have some cryptocurrency in your portfolio. Now, how do you get cryptocurrency? This isn't going to be a video about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, but it is a really cool new asset class, fairly new, right? Cryptocurrency, blockchain in general is the future, in my opinion. Blockchain, will be what like the internet was prior to, let's say, us having YouTube and GPS on our phone and all these amazing, amazing things. That's what cryptocurrency, blockchain, and things like, really blockchain is the technology. That's what, in my view, what it's going to do for us. So you should have some of that exposure in your account. Now, you can buy Bitcoin on, let's say, Coinbase or something like that. Be careful doing that because, number one, there's not a lot of regulation. It's like the fucking Wild West when it comes to Bitcoin. I have had personal friends. One friend of mine recently, he's a very dear friend of mine. I'm not going to say his name in case he's watching this video. But he's a very successful guy. He's got a lot of stuff in a lot of different places, but he had, in this particular example, he had 75K in Bitcoin on this platform. So you can have Bitcoin in different platforms, Coinbase or, LedgerX, lots of different places. It's kind of like ABC, XYZ, different platforms where you can hold your money. Kind of like different banks, Chase Bank, Bank of America is similar, right? So he had this 75K in his wallet, right, online wallet. And a lot of Bitcoin, you have passwords, right? And for some reason, I don't know exactly what happened, but anyway, he lost his fucking password, right? The password to the account. You lose your password to your Bitcoin account, that's like having a satchel stuffed with cash and just like leaving it at a train station. Like you lost your satchel of cash, you're not getting it back, period. It's just a physical, a satchel of cash, maybe somebody might turn it in, but it's kind of like you lose your password for Bitcoin, you're not getting that money back, is the way it stands now. So he lost his 75K. And I have lots of stories like that. And I'm not laughing, I'm laughing with him, not at him. But my point is, you could buy Bitcoin like that and participate in the appreciation of Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up, you make money. But again, Bitcoin is kind of like if I own stock, I buy Apple stock and it goes to the moon, I'm not going to actually recognize any of that profit until I sell that stock. Bitcoin is kind of similar. There's other ways that you can do it with options, which is my fucking passion, right? But anyway, going back to Bitcoin, you could buy it that way, or you could trade Bitcoin-related type of stocks, right? So like personally, lately, I've been trading a lot of Riot and Mara, right? So those are two like cryptocurrency type stocks, right? But really, it's kind of like Tesla and NEO. One goes up, the other one goes up. One goes down, the other one goes down. Now, again, not in the same exact proportion. They're a little bit different companies, but really, one goes up, one goes up. Why trade both? Do some due diligence, figure out what the better for me, what I want to accomplish, and just do one. Keep it simple. You don't need a lot of things. When you over-diversify improperly, you're doing yourself a disservice. So don't have too many things. Anyway, I'm at 24 minutes. Oh my gosh, sometimes I ramble, but I'm telling you, these are fucking valuable things. And hit me up in the comments. Hey, Michelle, that's a great video. Or, hey, Michelle, no, I think that sucks. Or, hey, you talk too much. Or your jokes aren't funny. I welcome feedback. I do. A lot of times I get like texts and messages from random people I don't even know. Oh my gosh, this was amazing. I want to change people's lives. I want to change people's lives like you. I want to bring these concepts to regular people. I firmly believe that no one will ever treat your money better than you will. Should you use a financial advisor? I say fuck no. Why do I think that? I come from that world. I was there for 13 years, right? I've seen lots of different things with different broker dealers. and lots of different experiences. And I firmly believe that regular people, you don't have to be smart, you don't have to have a good education, or you don't have to be good in math. You know, you could be a regular person and learn basic concepts and really make more money with lower risk than any financial advisor you're ever going to use. I truly believe that. Why don't people do that? Because they're too fucking lazy sometimes. People think, oh my gosh, stock options? I heard at a cocktail party that was risky. You know, come on. Learn for yourself, do your own due diligence, and then make an educated decision. Is this amazing? Is this not amazing? No one will, your financial advisor will not treat your money better than you do. I had a conversation with a friend of mine recently, and I just started spurring off all these different things. You know, lots of stuff like Meryl, and I'm not bagging anybody. I'm not like this is a positive, constructive video, and I hope my intention is that you take my information and go make some money for yourself. Go make some money. Don't keep it in your account. Go make some money and go fucking spend it. Because life is all about living. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring you. Like live your life. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. You know, it's so, like, I just have to pinch myself sometimes. It's funny, like when I was growing up, I don't come from, you know, I don't know. I mean, we all have our own stories, right? But I remember vividly one thing, I remember a lot of things, but one thing my mom used to say all the time when I was a kid, we never went on vacation, ever. Like my dad, when my parents got divorced, he moved to Florida, and that would be like my vacation. I would fly from Connecticut to Florida. We went to Disney World. That's like a vacation. That was amazing, right? And I want to preface it by saying I love everybody. I love my parents, of course, and I wouldn't change anything because it made me who I am today. Good and bad and everything, right? So I embrace that. But one thing that she used to say to me when I was young is that vacations were a waste of money. Like, fuck, you don't want to go to the Caribbean on a cruise, or you don't want to fly here, and that's a waste of money because at the end you have nothing to show for it. I remember that's what she used to say. That's a scarcity mentality. I don't know if she still believes that. I'm not even sure, but I will tell you this: when I you know, I've always kind of been like hustling work-wise, and I started working when I was 15. Right? I worked at the mall when I was 15. When I was 18, I started bartending, and I was like, fuck, I'm making so much money. Like, you know, you make so much money in tips. Then when I was 21, I bought a bar and grill, and people were like, fuck, you're 21, you bought a bar. How cool is that? I didn't even have any money. I had zero money. But you know what? You know, if you are resourceful, you can accomplish anything. You don't need money to make money. So it's funny. I'm reading this book right now that a friend of mine recommended that I read. It's all about like money habits and thoughts and values and things like that. You know, I personally grew up like, oh, it takes money to make money. No, that's not fucking true. Not true at all. It's like one of those things like money doesn't buy happiness. Not true. Lots of things are not true, right? But anyway, going back to my story here, I'm off on a tangent. She used to say, you know, vacations are such a waste of money. And when I became older, I think my first vacation was, I think I was 20. So I lived in Connecticut. I grew up in Connecticut. And I flew to Florida with, actually probably like 19. Drove to Florida. I had other things. But as a teenager, late teens, early 20s, I started like flying to the Caribbean or going on a cruise. I don't like cruises now. This is like for old people or something, or people that like to eat a lot of fucking food and get fat, in my opinion. Sorry if I'm offending anybody out there. It's just not my thing now. But my point is, I spent my late teens, early 20s going to lots of different places. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fucking amazing. What are you talking about? Like, you have nothing to show for it. You have those memories that last forever. So I have kids, and they definitely have not grown up the way I grew up. So I've taken my kids, and I'm not saying this to impress you. I'm saying this to impress upon you. You know, your life is what you make of it, and depending on what you value. Like, I value the opportunity that I've had bringing them to different places, showing them different cultures, experiencing, like, different things. It's fucking amazing. What do you mean you don't have anything to show for it? It's funny. She would be on QVC and buy a fucking television that you don't need. Oh, my gosh. Television is probably the dumbest invention of the whole fucking whatever century that it was invented in my view. Or she'd buy all this shit on QVC or whatever. So, like, I don't want to say stupid because everybody's got their own thing, right? Not my thing. My thing is like, giving people experiences, that's way more amazing. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling, and I value your time, and I want you to watch all these videos to the end, because I want you to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I watched this video. I learned blah, 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 blah. So going back to wrap it all together, diversification, do not overtrade. Do not be a victim of overtrading. Have some different sectors, one stock, research to find the best one. Then understand that stock. You should always know when earnings come out. So earnings are an important thing. You want to know when earnings come out, because that could really move your stock a lot. So you don't want to, let's say, buy, I didn't realize I want to buy Apple, and I didn't realize Apple earnings is tomorrow, and I bought 100 shares today. I don't know, maybe you should wait until after earnings, then you have a little bit less volatility. So earnings, you should always know. And secondly, you should always know when big players are buying or selling. I did a video recently on, what's his name? His name is Jeffrey Sprecher. You know who Jeffrey Sprecher is? He's the CEO of the New York Stock Exchange, right? So he is the, or actually maybe he's the CEO of ICE Stock, Intercontinental Exchange, which runs the New York Stock Exchange. Anyway, this was maybe like a year ago or so. He sold a fucking shit ton of his stock. It was actually in the news. I don't know if you guys have watched it or if you didn't. I don't think he's been arrested. I'm telling you, there's a lot of fucking shadiness that goes on in the stock market that you maybe see some of it, maybe you don't see a lot of it. Anyway, him and his friends, he's got like some politician kind of friends, and he and his wife sold a shit ton of his stock. And then subsequently, his stock went from like here, fucking down to here. Now, if you own, as an example, if you owned ICE, do you think that you'd want to know that the CEO of that company that you're trading just sold $8 million worth of that stock? Him and his wife and his friends and blah, blah, blah. Would you want to know? If you say no, then you shouldn't be trading anything. You should say yes. And in order to know those things, you need to be following who's buying and who's selling your stuff. Do it for free through the SEC Edgar website. I'm going to drop a link in the comments below. Or use my app, my free app, Follow the Whales. It's fucking amazing. Use my app. Or subscribe and get push notifications to your phone. Now, the app, I have to say, I have that app and I have another app called Stock Stickers. And I feel like right now I'm at a moment in my life where I have a lot going on, right? And I'm trying to balance and juggle a lot of different things. I'm saying that because I have a developer that does actual application development for me. And maybe that, especially Stock Stickers in general, is not like a pretty app. I could spruce it up and maybe do some more videos and make it look more appealing. But the content is solid, I guarantee you. And I'm also mentioning it because that is one of the things that I'm focusing on, is to improve the app. I'm always, like, I want to do things, and I want to do things in an amazing, amazing, amazing way. I want to over-deliver, under-promise, over-deliver. That's been like a story of my life. I mean, I think when you do that, you just always become successful. Just make a habit. It's like what that dude Zig Ziglar says. Like, you make money when you help enough other people make money. So those are the things that I live by, understand. Anyway, whatever you're trading, follow who's buying and who's selling. Don't trade too many things because it's too much shit to keep track of. You want to make trading, and I'm going to wrap this up shortly because I know now I'm at 33 minutes. You want to make trading one of those things where you invest, you immerse yourself and invest, let's say 10 hours and learn. Like I'm going to learn Chinese and I'm going to fly to China and I'm going to embrace that language, and that's the best way to learn, right? So immerse yourself and learn. And you want to make it so moving forward, you could quit your job and trade if you want to, but you don't have to either. You can have your day thing and you could trade, and it takes maybe like a half an hour per day, 20 minutes per day. If you can learn something in 10 hours and then take a half an hour per day and make yourself way more money with way lower risk than any fucking financial advisor that you've ever hired before, would that be of interest to you? Of course it should be of interest to you. I mean, maybe you could just sit on the couch and watch some more Netflix, and that might get you closer to your goals, right? I'm being a little sarcastic here. Or invest in yourself. I had a friend of mine once. I used to live in the Virgin Islands, and I had a friend of mine. It's funny how we remember certain things. She used to say, I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. I fucking love Tony. I personally believe he changed my life. I have so many amazing friendships that came from that whole Tony world, and I love him. And I was talking to this old friend of mine. She's not even really a friend anymore. Sometimes we cycle our friends, right? Like if you're not losing friends, you're not growing. That's what somebody told me recently, and that's okay. Don't be sad about that. We all fit certain things at certain times in our world, right? In our experience. So anyway, this girl, she said to me once, "Fuck, I would never pay $500 to go watch a seminar or something like that." And I thought, I thought then, and I think now, that is so fucking sad. I mean, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know where to start with that. That kind of mindset, like, fuck, like, I don't even know where to go with that. Like, spend like Tony, oh, my battery's about to die, so I have to wrap this up. I just got like 20% left on my phone. Okay. That type of world, like you could spend 500 and what you learn is going to make you 5,000 or 5,000 fold. You know what I'm saying? Don't sell yourself short, people. Knowledge, you know, what do they say? Knowledge is power. Knowledge is potential power. Action. You always need action. Anyway, I feel like I'm giving you lots of different things from lots of different places. Fuck. I need to go focus on some other things, and we're at 35 minutes. Anyway, diversification. Don't overtrade. Take all the other nuggets that I put in here, and I hope it helps. My intention is I want you to be a rock star. I want you to learn a few things. If you're interested in, and I don't want to be this sales thing, I want to just deliver content. But if you want to take things to the next level, I have a new course that I'm putting together, a 5-day course. Learn how to trade options. Anyone can do it. Legitimately, anyone can do it. Take control of your own financial future. Do not hire a financial advisor who, like, I don't know, he was working selling vacuum cleaners door to door, you know, last week. Now he's selling you fucking stocks. Come on. Those are the kinds of people that are financial advisors. Not all of them. And I'm going to stay positive. But I'll just leave it like this. No one will ever treat your money better than you will. Anyway, Michelle Kinney. I'm going by my maiden name now. I mean, I'm divorced. I just have to, I don't know. I was going to choose a name. Anyway, I'm not even going to talk about that. My phone's almost dead. Happy trading. I hope this information helps. If you want to see more videos like this, like this video, subscribe to my channel, send it to your friends. I want to like blow up on social media. I just think that a lot of this stuff is amazing. A lot of people don't know this information, so I'm happy to share it with you and the rest of your friends. Anyway, cheers and see you. Bye.